Have you ever struggled to process your astrophotography image after you've captured it and stacked it? If you're like 99% of astrophotographers, including me, the answer to that is a resounding yes. And also, even if you're very used to processing in stuff like PixInsight or Cyril or Celi Astro Suite Pro or any other software like that, still, sometimes you just want to see like what would be the result on your image with just like 2 minutes of processing. You want to see what's possible, what's the potential, right? And for that, my friend Luke from the Lucomatico channel has used the powers of AI for good to build, or to vibe code actually, an entire app called AstroWizard that aims to do exactly that. Basically, it's a step-by-step workflow. It just runs through your images. It's free. I'll put the link down in the description, as well as a link to Luke's video on that topic. But I wanted to give it a go, see what can I achieve with my own images? Does it get me like 80% of the way there? Does it reveal the potential of my images? Can I just process just with AstroWizard? Let's have a look. Okay, so here I have launched AstroWizard. AstroWizard doesn't require any installation. It was originally coded via Gemini Pro. Now it's coded by Claude Opus. So it's actually, I think it's pretty expensive on Luke. So Luke has donation links and stuff like that. So if you like what he did, please make sure to donate to him or to help him one way or another. Because yeah, I think he spent a lot of effort and money on building this. But here we are. There's no installation. You just download the exec file and you run it, which sounds a bit, I would say, Ayashi, but I trust Luke, so it's probably fine. Do I trust Claude Opus? Using it at work? Yes, I do. It's probably fine. And also what you want to do is after you download the exec file, you'll probably want to create a specific folder that you put it in, because every time you do a step like stretching the image, it will save a temporary image in the same folder as the executable. So for me, I have it under Documents AstroWizard with just the executable here. When I run it, I get this window. The first thing you will want to do is go to Settings and set the location to Graxpert. So if you don't have Graxpert, it's free. You just download it and install it. For me, it's in local app data, graxpert.exec. By the way, I'm running this on Windows. There's no Linux version right now. There is a Mac version though. And you also want, if you have it, to set the link to the RC Astro command line tool that we have using both locates buttons. I'll be using the RC Astro tools because they lend a lot of power to our processing. So I'm going to test with a variety of one-shot color images to start with. And I have 5 test images I want to try, and I don't even remember which is which. So I'm just going to open one. And we get an image that's all green, and because Luke designed it in a way that it's beginner-friendly, you have this image looks completely green checkbox or toggle at the top. Click it, and now you have an unlinked stretch, effectively. You can also show a console that tells you exactly what's going on, or not, yeah, it tells you the broad steps, let's say, of what's going on. And now that I'm all ready, I can go to the next step. And here we can crop, for instance, if I had like stacking artifacts, I could crop the very edges. So here it is, I click this 2.5%, and now we are more looking at the heart of the Heart Nebula. And I could do some other stuff, resampling, etc. But I don't need to do that. I'll just go to next step. And that's where we can go background extraction. Here, because my image looks completely green, it's probably quite needed. So I'm just going to try the default background extraction, which uses Graxpert. Again, it's free. So why not use that? And once Graxpert is done running, it will show us the image with the background extracted. Okay, background extraction is done. If I remove this image looks completely green toggle, then I get like natural colors. I actually like that. And something maybe not to forget after you've done background extraction, which also does a bit of background neutralization. So here, this background neutralization, because Graxpert has already done, is probably not quite needed. But, I'll run it anyway, see what happens. There we go. And then next step, we can do deconvolution. So you have native deconvolution or blur exterminator. Blur exterminator is superior. So I'm going to use blur exterminator and let it run. Obviously, you need to have bought blur exterminator for that to work. Here we go. I can zoom in to look at before and after, I guess. Oh yeah, hold. So this is before, and this is after Oh yeah, quite a big difference. Let's go to the next step, and I can do noise reduction. So I'll use noise exterminator, and you have light, normal, or heavy. For images with not a lot of noise, like this one, which is a narrowband image, light is probably fine. So that's what I'm going to use. And of course, if you don't have noise exterminator, you can use the Graxpert AI denoising. That one, I think Luke uses the version 3 of the AI model, which takes a lot of time. It might be good to use version 2. I don't know which is used right now, but we've run the denoising. Actually, no, there's a second pass running now. And this is the image denoise. To be honest, I think even light was a bit too much, but you know, I'm just trying to see what is possible with my image. So I'll go to next step, and then we have the big stretch. This is stretching the image. So I'm gonna try normal, see what happens. Yeah, I like that. I'm fine with that. Let's go to the next step. And there's some cool stuff that you can do. You can remove the stars and replace them later. What I would probably do is a quick, let's try dual band to Hubble mix. So maybe I'll just remove the stars first. So this time it uses star exterminator in that case, so it does require RC Astro for that. It might be good to have a link to StarNet as well for a future version. The stars are removed. I'm going to try to set a dual band Hubble kind of channel. It tells me like it doesn't work all the time, so if it doesn't work well, you know, undo your last step. So that's fine, I guess. Let's see what we can get out of that. And I can set some contrast related stuff. I can say I want darker sky. Yeah, that's pretty nice. I want to saturate the image with a mask saturation. Maybe I want to make the red pop because the blue is kind of overwhelming the entire image here. Yeah, I much better like that balance now. Then I can do some more saturation. Oops, maybe I undo the last step. That was too much. There we go. And let's see, do I want a green be gone? It's probably fine. Yeah, it didn't do much. And I don't need light noise reduction, so I'll just replace the stars back. And there we go. That basically would be my completed image, right? In a few steps, very easy. And that's kind of like what I like about this piece of software. Now, is it as good as manual processing in PixInsight, which for reference, that was this for my image? Obviously not. But as if you're a beginner, you don't need to think about things. You go through all of the steps, it just works, and it's free as long as you don't need the RC Astro tools. This is, I think, pretty neat, in my opinion. Let's try another one. So I would recommend when you want to try another one to first close the program that purges all of the temporary files that it created and then reopen it. So that's what I've done, and we're back in the program. I'm going to load another image this time. Let's go for the second image. And this time this is on M1. Again, my image is completely green, so I'm going to check this. And we're going to go to the next step. I'll do a quick short artifact crop just for the heck of it. I don't really need to do any other field of view adjustments, so I'll just go next. I want to see what's happening, so I'll put in the console. Then we can run the background smoothing with Graxpert, so I'll go with the default options. Here we go. I'm gonna remove the checkbox now, see what happens. Yes, now it looks quite nice. I can run the background neutralization, and it's done. Next step is going to be blur exterminator. And let's look at the original. There it is, versus the one after blur exterminator. It's not even close, right? Then I can do some noise exterminator. Light was a bit too heavy for me, so I'll just go to custom. I think what I want to make sure of is have iterations 1. It looks like this software, when it says iterations, it doesn't use the actual iteration setting of RC Astro, which does all in one pass. It seems to be doing 2 separate passes, one after another, which I think is too strong in a lot of cases. But then for beginners, it might work well. For this image, which is relatively noise-free, I'll just go with 0.7, run noise exterminator. Yeah, and I like what I get here. It's not too crazy noise reduction. And so I can keep going. Let's try a normal stretch. And I went with a somewhat aggressive stretch. I went with the aggressive one just to see the background and see that nebulosity here. So I'm going to go next, and now we have our little fun. This time I'm just going to try to auto color balance. Didn't like what it did, so I'm gonna undo the last step. Yeah, I think we'll need to keep this color palette for now. Maybe I can try the dual band mix. Yeah, I don't like that either, so we'll keep this this color palette here. I'm just gonna do some darker sky a little bit, a couple of times, triples of times. There it is. Masked saturation, just to see more color in the nebula. Make it pop, see what happens. Nice. And cyan pop. No, too much, so I'm gonna undo last. And I'll try red pop. Too much as well. I think it's sometimes I wish I had like more granular controls there. But yeah, otherwise this is fine. I don't want green be gone. I mean, we can try to see what's going on there, but no, I prefer it with the green. So I'm gonna undo last, and this is my result with M1, right? So I can actually go to the next step and save the image. I forgot to show that on the original image, and then you can support AstroWizard and Luke on this endeavor, which is completely vibe coded. What an era we live in. So yeah, pretty nice. Let's try another one, maybe broadband this time. So again, I would recommend closing and reopening. So I'm gonna load another image. This should be the Pleiades, no, M33, if I remember correctly. Again, image looks completely green. I'm just gonna quickly go through the steps. Here we go, I'm at the background visualization level, it's done. Let's do the blur exterminator. And here I'm encountering my first issue there, blur exterminator. Oh, there it is. So it was very interesting. It took a long time for blur exterminator to actually run and get the image back into the software, but we're back. Now I can go do some noise reduction. And again, I used a custom to do one pass. Fairly strong at 0.9, but just a single pass rather than running noise exterminator twice on the image, which I personally think is a bit, maybe too much, depending on how noisy the image is. It's good that we have this custom setting. And here we go, we can stretch. I went with an aggressive stretch here because I want to see again what I'm doing. Next step, and that's the fun part. I'm gonna start with the color balance. So that's nice. Darker sky, make it pop. Mask saturation, maybe green be gone, some blue pop, and that could be my finished image, right? So there we go, we followed the workflow and we have a finished image. So again, this is not quite as good as what I could accomplish directly in PixInsight. I mean, this is what I got like in PixInsight when I first processed this image, but still, really nice and kind of like I like the ghostly effects that we have here. And now I want to try the Pleiades. So again, closing the software and reopening it. There we go, image completely green, and I'm just gonna run through the steps. So here we do have an example where the auto stretch is confused, right? It doesn't know what to do, so that's quite interesting. I'm not sure exactly how this auto stretch works. Let's see what happens after Gragspurt. Maybe it's gonna get better. It didn't. I'm not sure why. I've also noticed that the auto stretch tends to get darker after noise reduction, where normally it should be the opposite. So there might be a bit something funky with the auto stretch imagined by Gemini and Claude. But I'll keep going. Maybe I don't see what I'm doing, but because the steps are so easy anyway, I can keep going and hope for the best during the final stretch. Some blur exterminator, although I won't be able to really see what I'm doing. And by the way, it's not the image. In PixInsight, the screen transfer function auto stretch are in scale as well. They reveal everything immediately. And finally, noise exterminator done. It took forever. Noise exterminator itself was almost immediate. It's just that importing the image back into AstroWizard for whatever reason took forever. So I think there's something weird going on there that needs to be fixed. Let's go to the stretch. Let's try an aggressive stretch. Hopefully it will give me a little bit of information. I think I need to go custom and do the maximum and see what happens. Okay, we definitely have some issues with the stretch here. We'll try to darken the sky there. Auto color balance. Green be gone. Make it pop, I guess. Blue pop. Okay, this one is just not working well, right? I actually can get better just from a screen transfer function in PixInsight. So this one is not a success. And I think it has to do with the stretching algorithm. There's definitely something funky about it, especially when I see something where the image gets darker. I mean, the auto stretch makes the image looks darker after noise reduction. Normally it's the reverse because we have more room to clip towards the dark end. So it's yeah, quite interesting. So overall, it seems we have a free tool that's vibe coded, seems to be working really well overall for a lot of images. I think it's going to be very good for things like smart telescopes, and you don't even need like noise exterminator. It can do standard deconvolution, and it can do Gragspert for the noise. So it can be entirely free, runs on the computer, and you still control each of the steps to some extent. So it's not like one of those one click, everything is done, processing is done, and you go to bed kind of thing, which I think is going a bit too far. So yeah, I think this is a perfect compromise, but there are definitely issues with some of the images. So I think it would be nice to try it out for other people as well. It's free, so there's no risk involved. And yeah, let me know what you think of that down in the comments. And while you're at it, if this video was useful, please leave a like. If it wasn't, leave a dislike. And if you want to support me even more and you're planning on buying anything from Agena, High Point Scientific, Amazon, etc., if you do so after clicking one of the links that I have in the description, it will help me out at no cost to you. And of course, you can support Luke in his endeavor. I've already shown some ways to do that. But if you want to become a sponsor of the channel, really a VIP, you can join the channel as a member. It's the join button next to the subscribe button, or you can join my Patreon. The link is down in the description. With that, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget, whenever you can, to look up at the stars, and I'll see you next time.